Oh boy, this is gonna be a good fish. It's a nice chilly 38-degree morning here on the James River. I'm starting out in a gravel pit with plans to move out into the main channel in a little bit. Bait was a little bit tough this morning. The water temperatures dropped from about 60 down to the low 50s in the past couple days. Now, I did not find any gizzard shad this morning, which is okay because I've been having a lot of luck with carp and I'm loaded up on carp, so that should help a ton. Let's see if they're still interested in that bait. Let's drag a couple baits, suspend a couple baits, work our way out of this pit into the main channel and see if we can get those rod tips going down. The morning. You see that? That thing grabbed it back here and he's running with it. So I gotta pick up on him and get him in the boat. Been dragging for about 10 minutes. I'll take it. That's how it always goes. I start fiddling around with my stuff, trying to get my cameras loaded up, and there goes a rod. This might be a better fish than I originally thought. Now that he's up to the boat, he's strong. Look at that rod bending over. That's a medium heavy big cat fever rod. And he's having his way with it. Look at that. Oh baby. And there goes my other line. It's the carp, man. This is the bait of the fall, I guess. Early winter. That's what's been working for me. Man, that is fun. That does not get old, I will tell you that much. Oh, he's got some weight to him down there. I may spend a little bit more time dragging around this pit than I originally planned. It's gonna be a big old goober. Oh yeah, he's digging, digging, digging. Look at these ripples up on the surface. That's gotta be a big old tail. That is the one thing about the cooler water temperatures. It brings out the fight in the fish, I find. A lot of times in the summer when this river gets up to high 80s, low 90s, they fight for 10 seconds and then kind of give up and float. Here they just fight and fight and fight and fight. Oh yeah, that's a nice big fish. Really nice big fish. He was up under the kayak. All right, we're gonna have to let him tire himself out. I've got to organize some rods. I'll be right back with you. Okay, we are all organized. Let's get this fight back underway. I cleared all my rods. I still got to get him up and around the trolling motor. Now it's time to get him in the boat. Although I'm not sure he's quite ready yet. That's why dragging baits is one of my favorite things to do. When that dragging rod gets hit, they usually just run with it because I'm usually doing that in pretty shallow water. Right now I'm only in 9 to 10 feet. So they can't really dig down like a normal fish would, fighting back down into its hole. They've got to fight to the side somewhere. So sometimes you'll get a rod and it'll go running across the back of your boat. It does mean you'll tangle up every now and then, but it's worth it just to see them take off like a torpedo. Really see the sheer strength these fish have and the speed that they have when you see that line just ripping across the water. This This is a tough fish. That's gonna be a trophy for sure. Here it comes again up to the surface. You should see the head on this thing. He's still pulling drag a couple minutes into the fight. It's funny, I put the tiniest little fillet of a carp on there. I thought I was just gonna pick up a couple small, medium fish. And look at that's the rod that goes down with the big goober. He does not want to give in. Little does he know, we're just gonna let him go right away. Just want to grab him for a quick photo op, that's all. The tail and the head on this thing are just impressive. Look at that fish. He's still not ready to give in. This might take a minute. You know what I caught him on. You saw it in my last video. It's right there. You see that green? Oh, get away from that trolling motor, buddy. You see that green slinky looking thing? That's one of Jimmy's drifting sticks. Okay, he's starting to give in. Let's see what we can do here. That's a nice big fish. No, he is skin hooked. Oh, baby. That is a monster. Look at that thing. Oh, yeah, buddy, that's what we're talking about. That is a big fish. I don't know if you can see that on his head. He took a swipe at that bait. It just caught him on the tip of the nose. I didn't realize that until I got him right up to the boat. But I could have lost that fish at any minute. All right, let's take a look at this fish's head. You can see that skin hook right there. Look how easy this is gonna come out. Oh, maybe not. That's a tough patch of skin. What I need you to do for me, if you want to see this fish, you got to go down, hit the thumbs up button. This is a hog. You want to keep seeing these hogs, you got to subscribe to that channel. Hit the bell, it'll notify you every time we put these big old fish in the boat. Check this thing out. Here you go. I won't keep you waiting. Oh man, it's a 45.5-inch fish. He is a monster. 9 foot of water. Big old heavy fat fish. Well, I don't want to keep it out of the water too much longer. I'm gonna get it back in there, get a nice release on it, so I can go catch him again sometime. Right, there he goes. We're gonna go take another pass at that. I'm gonna go reset everything. When I catch a fish that big, I pull everything out of the water. I don't want to get entangled up if I can help it. I'm gonna reset everything. I'm gonna go back in this corner over here, right back in here. I'm gonna drag out of there back to the river mouth, and then we'll get on. Marked a little pile of fish on my fish finder, and he's hooked up right on the front. Still dragging baits. This is on a suspended rod. Just a medium-sized fish, but I'm not going to complain. Action's action. He's fighting good. He's fighting real good. He's a spunky little fella. As long as he doesn't get caught up in my trolling motor, I'll let him hang out for a minute. That was a poor decision because now he came off. Oh. All I want to do is put a glove on. All right, we're throwing the moneymaker out there, a nice piece of carp head. medium-sized carp. Let's see if anything big wants that one. I think we got another fish on back here. This bite is hot this morning. Yep, he's on there. I'm trying not to blind you with my chest cam here. Can't turn all the way around, or you'll be looking right at the sun. It's just gonna be a little guy. Real little guy. We're not even gonna put him on the board. We're just gonna dispose of him real quick. All right, it's a real little blue cat going back in. We're gonna get this bait back out there. There are active fish this morning. Picked up on this to start reeling it in, and I'm pretty sure I've got a little dink on here. Yep, what do you know? Who knows how long I've been dragging him along. Look at that little guy. Let's get him back so we can free up that hook for a bigger fish. I'm gonna leave that pulled in. I'm gonna go change tactics a little bit here. Never mind, here's another hit. Look at that. That's on the head section. That could be a decent fish. He's running. Almost a double. No sooner did that one fish leave the boat than this rod hit. This will be a much better fish than that last one you just saw. I'm in 17 foot of water. This one wasn't even down on the bottom. It was probably 5 foot off the bottom. I'd come out of about 13 foot and hadn't really dropped it down all the way yet. I was just trying to see what the current was going to do with me. Oh, that's a good fish. Nice. That's number 5 on the day. It's a good morning. I've really only been fishing for about an hour. The bite is on. I was gonna leave this pit. I might go back. I'm not sure yet. We'll find out. I've got plenty of bait to make some decisions. Alright, nice fish. Really nice fish. Alright, that's a 32-inch blue cat. We've got something hitting on this front rod too. Let's get a release on him. Later, dude. I'm gonna get this carp head back down there. See if anything else wants it. It's torn up though. We're gonna have to hook it different. Alright, there we go. We're sending that back down. Alright, I was working my way upstream and I found a little hump. Oh boy, this is gonna be a good fish. So he's in the current, and like I was saying, holy cow, I found a hump that juts out along the channel edge. It's kind of like a nice little spot for the fish to hide out of the current. And I have done well in that spot before. You've seen me catch some fish in there. This may not be as good of a fish as I thought, but that current sure makes it feel heavy. Hopefully we're pleasantly surprised. I may be wrong. I like when I'm wrong in situations like this. Yeah, this fish has some weight on it. He's fighting the current no problem. Yeah, he's pulling lots of drag now. Look at that rod tip bend over. This will be another trophy, I can tell already. This is not just current. He's right below me and he's still heavy as can be. Carp is the ticket. Oh boy, that's a big pull. Look at that. I'm gonna be sore. That's gonna be a big fish. Yeah, it is. That is a big fish. Of course, he's on the right side of my boat. I don't like landing him on that side. I'm gonna have to move him around and shuffle up. So I'm gonna work on getting my other rods up now while he's wearing himself out. There's drag. That's a big fish. Yeah. Gotta love it. Yeah, he's got some big old marks on this on my fish finder graph. We should see him pretty soon here. He's coming up out of 40 feet. And he's making a run up river. Man, it is just true. These colder temps, these fish are on fire. I've only been on the water about an hour and a half. This is my 6th fish. Well, I've been on the water longer, but not with rods in the water. My first hour I was catching bait. Had to dodge a tree limb in the water. Man, I want to see this big boy. He's still down there in 20-30 feet. We gotta start working to get him up. Oh yeah. Woohoo! Oh boy, I just saw his back. He's huge. I don't like the way this current's going though. I'm gonna pull all my rods up and take spotlock off so I can get over him. He's gonna mess something up here. I think I've got a fish on that rod too. Yep, there's a fish on that rod. But this is the one I'm most interested in right here. All right, the worrisome part is over. We got him around the trolling motor. Time to start getting ready to get this fish in the boat. About to get your first glimpse of him if that sun's not in your eyes. He's pulling me around at 1.5 miles an hour. Look at that fish. That's another monster. Yeah. can barely get that guy in the boat. He is heavy. Look at that fish. Yeah! That's what I like to see. Did you subscribe to that channel on that last fish? Because if you didn't, you're gonna make me sad. Here comes an even bigger one. So that fish is gonna go 45 3/4 of an inch. Look at that thing. Look at the size of that thing. Man, his mouth is just massive. Look at that. I could probably fit my head in there. We're gonna get this fish back in the water and go see if he had any friends down there with him. I'm tired. This is exhausting. Let's get a release on him. See you, dude. Fought him for 10 minutes. It's like it didn't even faze him. Oh, forgot about this fish. I guess he did have a friend down there with him. I guess you can say that was my first fish on a technique called back bouncing or bottom bumping. I've got Jimmy's drifting weights on here. I've got 2 of them. And I've got probably a 1.5 hour current here with the outgoing tide. And this is only about 5 ounces of weight, so I can just kind of let that go along the bottom, just keep letting line out and letting it sneak down the channel ledge. Picked up this little guy with it. Let's go see if we can find a bigger one doing that. Well, I'm back in the pit. I ran upriver as you saw earlier, made a stop along the way, caught that really nice fish. However, the movement itself did not work for me. I tried a few spots and the outgoing tide in the main channel is just way too fast right now. It's pushing about 1.7 miles an hour. And if I'm going slow enough to be effective drifting, then I can't even keep 10 ounces of weight on the bottom. So I'm gonna go back in this pit where it's not as influenced by tide. If you look over here, you may be able to see it. You can see the brake lines and whatnot and where all the wood's stacking up. So in here is kind of like a nice little sanctuary, and hopefully the fish are thinking the same thing. Hopefully they're thinking, man, that current is way too fast. I'm gonna go hide out, catch a meal, and just chill out for a little bit. So let's try and put some food in front of their face. All right, well that was quick. I think we've got something hooked up back here. Oh yeah. Just a small guy. Really small guy. But at least they're in here and they're feeding still. Okay, that tends to happen when you use really small baits like I am right now. But I do catch some really nice big fish, as you've seen on the smaller baits too. All right, there's a little guy, he's going back. I'm just dragging a little fillet like this. It flaps around behind the boat, looks like a little bait fish. So they hit it like live prey. There's a fish on there. Gotta be a small one. Yep. We're looking for his mama. There goes another. Nice enough to give us our bait back. We're gonna toss that back out there. Got a little fish up front here. I'm marking a ton of little fish down there, so I'm assuming it's just gonna be a little dink. And it is. There's gotta be 100 of them down there. But they've been leaving my baits alone. Oh, and that one came off, so not a big deal. We're just gonna throw this back down there. Okay, well, we're gonna go ahead and pack it in for the day. I spent 8 hours on the water today. Caught a couple really nice fish and a bunch of small ones and medium-sized fish to fill the time in between. River's still a little fast from all our rain we had and it being up at flood stage, so hopefully it'll calm down even more in the next couple days, and maybe by the weekend we'll be back out for more fish. We appreciate you stopping in. Hit that thumbs up button down the bottom, please. Subscribe to that channel, please. We do appreciate that. And you know what? I think it's time for you to giddy up and get on out of here. Bye-bye.